So you will have these 14 modules in the Java course. Today is module 1, that is Introduction to Java. Module 2, we will be talking about data handling and functions, like, what are the, here it talks about, we will talk about, like, what are the different kind of data is available, like, data types are available. Okay, what are the functions, what is function overloading, okay, call by value, call by reference, everything will be discussed in this module. In module 3, we'll be talking about object-oriented programming. What is an object? What is an object-oriented programming? How you will implement that in Java? Everything will be covered over here. And in module 4, packages and multi-threading. What is a package? What is scope? What are the different type of scopes are there? That is like public, private, protected, and all will be there. That will be covered. In module 5, we'll be talking about collections. Collections are extremely important in Java. You have couple of classes like array list, vector, those things and all will be there. In module 6, we'll be looking at XML. Module 7, we'll be talking about JDBC. JDBC stands for Java Database Connectivity. That is how a Java can connect with a database. Okay. Module 8, we'll be talking about servlets. Servlets is a web technology. How exactly it's like you can communicate using a web browser, using URL. JSP stands for Java Server Pages. It is the next version of servlets and extremely used nowadays. Okay, so in module 9. Module 10, we'll be talking about Hibernate. Hibernate is a framework which is advanced to JDBC, okay, to connect to the database. Extremely powerful. It is called ORM. It stands for object relationship mapping. We'll be discussing in detail about it. Okay. Module 11, we will be talking about Spring. This is also one of the important framework. Module 12 will talk about Spring, Ajax, okay, and design patterns. Ajax stands for Asynchronous JavaScript for XML, okay, Asynchronous Java API for XML. And module 13 will be talking about SOA. SOA stands for Service Oriented Architecture. You must have seen my presentation on website, right? Module 14 will be talking about web services in project. Okay, how exactly you can use web services, like you have RESTful services and SOAP service. Okay, so these are the 14 modules we will be having in this Java session. Okay. Okay. One second. Okay, I'll be asking I'll be asking I'll be asking a couple of questions, and at the logical break, in the sense like once I complete one module, I will be giving you some time to ask me questions, right? So that time you can ask questions, and if it is the question is deviating from the current topic, I'll request you to send an email to me or to the support. We'll address it differently because we have a lot of people over here. I don't want to deviate and talk something else. Okay, and yeah, whenever it is possible, I'll address your questions if it is relevant at that point of time. Else, I would request you to send an email, or okay, I'll address it later. I will tell you. Okay. These are the things, these are the objectives of today's module. Okay, understand the advantages of Java, understand where Java is used, how the memory management is handled in Java, create a project in Eclipse and execute it, implement if-else construct in Java, develop codes using various data types in Java, implement various loops. Introduction to Java. Okay, so meet John. John is a student of computer science in California University. John dreams of becoming a programmer like his elder brother. Now John is in a class. Now the trainer is teaching. There are many programming languages. Java is one of them. It's very important. We will learn about it. John is having some doubts. Sir, if there are many programming languages, why learn only Java? That's what John asks. Okay, the trainer responds, okay, because Java is highly secured, object-oriented, and most widely used language in the industry. Okay, John asks, but where do we use it? Why should I learn Java? John is still confused. Now, John is going home with a doubt. What is this Java? Why should I learn about it? Sir is telling about, like, object-oriented programming, security, and everything like that. That's what it says. John was not able to relate anything on what was taught in the class. He was so confused. Now, John goes to his brother, okay? And his brother asked this question. Okay, on returning home, John met his elder brother. John's brother realized that John is upset. Now, his elder brother asks him, hey John, how was your day? Now, John expresses his concern with his elder brother. My teacher started programming languages today. He started with Java, and I said it's very useful and important. I'm not able to understand why. He says, I don't know, my trainer says it's very good and all, but I don't know why it is like that. Now, John gets an answer. Well, he's right. Java is very important. It's used everywhere. Now, his brother says it's very important and it's used everywhere, and he will explain where and all it is used, how it is used. John says, can you tell me more about it, where and all it is used? Okay, now his brother says, yeah, sure. Let me take you to the places where Java is used. He says, his brother starts explaining about where and all Java is used. Look here, do you see the setup box near TV? It works on Java, right? It is developed, the code is written in Java. Now his elder brother says one more example, showing our car uses GPS system to guide us, and it's a very useful navigation tool. It works on Java. Let's see some more places. The GPS which runs in the car is given by Java. Okay, then. Okay, I get a message from Nilesh saying that he's not able to hear me. Are you people able to hear me? Okay. Anjali says yes, she's able to hear. Siddhartha says yes. Soumya says yes. Vijay says yes. Arvind says yes. Prakash says yes. Nilesh. Okay, Ravindra says yes. Vyan says yes. Naveen says yes. I think Nilesh, there may be some issue with the internet connection. Please check. Yeah, so it goes off in the sense, like, there is some issue with the internet. Can you please recheck about it? Okay, now let's come back to Java, and his elder brother explains, see the billing machine over here, it also works on Java. John is convinced to learn Java. While returning, John had understood that Java is almost everywhere. You see the setup box, you see the GPS system, you see the computer where billing system is developed. Everything is written in Java. So, John, now that you know Java is used in so many fields, you should start learning it if you wish to be a good programmer. Okay, here's a gift for John. Okay, meanwhile at home, look John, I have brought you a gift. Like his elder brother presents him a mobile. Then, wow, an Android phone. Thank you. That's what John says. He says, his elder brother says, well, that works on Java too. It's like Android is developed in Java. Okay. Okay. Now, what is Java? Java is a programming language that is concurrent. Concurrent means many transactions at the same time. Okay, can I ask you, what is concurrency? What is concurrent? You must have studied in your master's or engineering or anywhere. What is concurrent? I keep asking so many things, so many questions like this. Okay, please, respond so that we can have an interactive session. Concurrent is, Soumya says it's a parallel. Yes, Soumya, it is right. Okay. Kumar says it is multitasking. Yes. Concurrent means many tasks performing at the same time is concurrency, right? So Java achieves this using multi-threading. Okay. We'll talk about what is multi-threading in a little while, right? So one more is the class-based. Okay. That is, all the programs written in Java is the using classes. We'll look at it from this class itself, like what is class, and it is object-oriented programming. See, initially when software engineering started, it is used using system analysis and design. Okay, it is called SAD, which is system analysis and design. Okay, this is called as waterfall methodology. The problem is, whenever there is a small change in the client requirements, it was very difficult to implement and so much supposed to test and all. Then they came up with OOAD, which stands for object oriented, okay, analysis and design. That means using objects, you are writing the code. Okay, object means anything in the real world entity is an object. For example, I'm speaking using headset. Headset is an object, right? So I have a pen. Pen is an object. Human being, he is an object. Employee is an object. Anything you have in the real world entity which has an attribute and some method, some responsibility to perform, right? So this is used, that is an object, right? Object is helps us for something. For example, any object we can use. Pen. Pen is an object which has an attribute like a color, width, height and all. So it has certain methodology, certain responsibility like writing and okay, many other functionalities where you can keep it as the showpiece or anything like that. Okay, that is an object. You write or develop the code for this object is object-oriented programming. Okay. Some more information about Java, that is, Java is used in various enterprise level application frameworks all around the world. Java is used in over 850 million pieces as Java runtime environment. Okay, used to develop Android application. Java is used to develop Hadoop application. Java is used to develop business process management tools, and it is used for web services and application servers. Okay. Okay, Java has been used to develop below frameworks, that is Hadoop, Spring, Hibernate and Struts. Okay, I have a question from Kumar asking what is framework? Framework is you use the language to make the life little more simpler. Some more facilities will be given, right? Okay, so I write some piece of the code, okay, I write some code, I'll make, like, it'll help the developer little more easier, right? It's like, it's another tool where we can use it, okay? Using language, we write sub-language so that it'll be easier for me, okay? I need not write the complete language. Whenever, so I will use the language, okay, for example, let's say, I have developed HTML using Java, for example, right? So I can use the tags like this, okay? Okay, see, this is a new language itself which has it's developed, okay? But when I use these tags, it'll execute the Java code for me, right? Something similar to that. See, I have generated a new language itself. I can call it as a framework. Okay, is it clear? Yeah. Nilesh asked, what is struts? Are we covering struts in the codes? Okay, Nilesh, struts is not covered in the codes because it is coming down, right? So it is not so much used. Currently, Spring is used widely in the industry, okay? If you want, I can give you some information about it. What is struts, okay? How exactly it works. It is an MVC architecture. Okay. Okay. Ananta says, I'm sorry, I'm not able to clearly understand. Ananta, can I ask you what you did not understand? Okay, framework. Let's say I will use one language. With that, I will develop one intermediate language, okay? So that I need not write complete code with complexity, right? I can make it very, very simpler, right? So if I want to write this code in, just want to display hello in Java, it may be a little complex to write initially, right? You have to write a lot of code. Rather than that, I write intermediate language and provide to the user so that they can use the intermediate language. In that, they can save the time, they can develop the applications faster, and it is easier to understand. Okay? Ananta, did you understand now? Okay, have you people got it? What is a framework? Hello? Yeah. It's an intermediate language where it helps you to reduce your effort. You need not write such a complex code. Yeah? Okay. Okay, this is the job market trend. Okay, so you have developer is 62%, Java engineer is 13%, programmer is 6%, Java lead is 5%, analyst is 4%. Like in US and many part of the country, world, Java is extensively used. Okay, languages before Java. Before Java emerged as a programming language, there were many other programming languages. C, C++, Visual Basic, Python. Okay, the primary goal was to replace C++. C++ does not provide efficient means of garbage collection. Garbage collection is like Java has got garbage collection mechanism. That is, it only allocates memory and releases the memory from the system, right? C++ has a facility to that where you can allocate memory using pointers and destroy the memory for the objects. Okay, by chance if the developer forgets to release the memory, then that memory is lost. It is still it is available and it's wasted, right? And if the user tries to access something where the memory is not allocated for that object in C++, then the program will crash. There's a huge problem with C++ because of memory, because developer is allocating memory and releasing. This concept is entirely taken off from Java. Java said that I'm not going to let you allocate memory. I will take care of it. You tell me what do you want, I will allocate memory and I will release a memory so that application does not get crashed. Okay, so C++ does not have no built-in support for threads. It gets complex when you want to develop a graphics rich application. C++ is not platform independent. Okay, you will learn in a short while what is platform independent. Platform is an operating system, okay, that is Windows, Macintosh, Linux and Unix and everything. Okay, so Java is platform independent, that is it can run on any operating system. You develop the code in Windows, it can run on Macintosh also. Same code, no difference. Okay, in C++ memory allocation and deallocation has to be done by the developer itself. As I said before, the allocation and releasing the memory has to be done by the it has to be done by the developer. Okay, I have a question from Prakash asking what is garbage collection. Okay, garbage collection is a module in Java where it allocates memory and releases the memory for the objects. Okay, it's garbage collection is a module for memory management in Java. Okay, so you will learn about it in detail. Okay, is it okay, Prakash? Have you got some insight of it? What is garbage collection? Okay, thank you. It's for memory management. How you allocate memory, how you release a memory. It's a module in Java. Okay, he is a person who developed Java. Java was developed by James Gosling in Sun Microsystems. It's a platform independent programming language. This language was initially named as Oak and renamed as Java later on. Initially, the language was named as Oak, then later on it is renamed as Java. Now, these are all the versions of Java. Initially it started in 1996 with 1.0. Right now it is in 8, but the stable version is 7. 8 is not completely stable in the sense that not all the applications started using it and there are no crashes. Okay, so that's why 7 has been used. How do you find the version of Java? Go to the command prompt and type, say, Java minus version. It will give you the version of Java. Let's look at features of Java. Okay, any questions so far? Before I start with the features, okay, let me ask you, do you have any questions? let me move on with the features of Java. Okay, these are on the left hand side. You will see the features of Java: simple, secure, robust, portable, dynamic, distributed, multi-threaded, object-oriented, high performance. We'll be looking at each topic right now. Don't worry about it if you don't understand these couple of words, because it's specific to Java. Okay, let's look at some of the conversation over here. I'm tired of using C and C++. He asked why. They are platform dependent. If a code is developed by Windows, it must be executed in Windows only. If that's the case, use Java. It's a platform independent programming language. So he says, like, he's tired of using C, C++. He asks him why. He says, like, if I develop the application in Windows, in C++, I have to execute in Windows only. I cannot take that executable and run in Linux or any other platform. He says, okay, if that is the case, go ahead for Java. Java is platform independent in the sense it can run on any operating system. You write a Java program, compile it, take the compiled code, okay, then put it in the Linux machine, or like Macintosh machine, or like Unix machine, or any machine, any OS, it runs. You don't need to compile at all. It is platform independent. It runs on any operating system. Now let's say here it is a C. Okay, before I ask how many of you know C++? Let me know whether you know C++ or you don't know C++. It is not required, but you will understand what I talk. Okay. Okay. I got some messages. Okay. Okay. My request is, like, when I ask you some question, could you please respond so that I understand how exactly I need to train you, right? Okay, I got a couple of them have responded saying that a few of them know C++, some of them doesn't know C++. That's perfectly fine. See what happens if you don't know. If you don't know C++, that's fine. I can explain the background behind it and then talk, so that it helps me to help you. Yeah. Okay. Now, if you look at C++ platform, let's say forget about C++. You take any other programming language. Okay, C you take, or like in any other programming language, you write the source code, compile it in the Windows platform, then it generates an executable file, exe file. You have to run this exe file. You cannot take this exe file to Ubuntu software OS, or you cannot run in a Macintosh machine. It runs only on Windows platform. Similarly, another OS, let's say Linux platform, right? If I write the source code, compile it, it generates a sh file, and you can run only in this platform. Similarly, in a Macintosh machine, if I write the source code in C++ and compile it, it generates a DMG file, .dmg, setup.cpp file. Right here, when I compile it, it generates the DMG file. Okay, now this DMG file, I cannot take it to Windows machine and run it, because they're totally different. It is platform specific code is written in all these compiled version of the source code. Okay, now if you go to Java, right, when you write code in Java, you compile it. Okay, it generates output is called as .class file. For example, let's say if I have, let's say I will write hello.java, okay, hello.java. When I compile this code, what I get is hello.class. Okay, .class file will have something called as a bytecode. I will talk about bytecode. Okay, then this if I, let's say I have written this code hello.java on Windows platform. I have compiled on Windows platform, that is Windows machine, okay, machine which has Windows as OS. It generates hello.class. Now this hello.class I will copy to this OS or Macintosh OS, and I will say run this file. It runs perfectly fine. It runs as if it is now executing in Windows. It's absolutely the same. So that is the power of Java, right? It is not platform dependent. JVM stands for Java Virtual Machine. That is, you need this java.exe to run this .class file. Okay, so I have to run this. I have to give Java hello. Okay, this Java is a java.exe. It's an executable. If I'm running in Windows, it's a exe file. Okay, I mean, if I want to run, I should say Java hello. I will show you how to write the code and how to compile it in Java in a short while. Okay. Okay, before I move on, have you understood what is platform independent? Okay. We have so many people here. Can I request everyone to contribute, be interactive, so that I can be of maximum help to you? Okay. Okay, thank you so much for the response. It's great to hear from you people. Yeah. Now let's look at the features of Java. Simple. Java is written in C++. If you know C++, then writing Java programs are very easy, right? Java program is very, very simple to write. It is not at all complex, okay? Java provides security. Java provides a lot of facilities to secure the built-in applications. Secure web applications can be developed using Java. Okay, what is security in web applications? Okay, Anjali asks why and how is Java secured compared to other programming languages? The security aspect can be very easily built in Java. Okay, for example, SSL, secured socket layer, and whatever you see HTTPS, that is HTTP security mode, can be very easily developed in Java. Okay, and it has lot of libraries, okay, for security support. Okay, there is something called encryption. Encryption means the data what you're sending on internet will be modified based on an algorithm and will be sent on this internet. So there are a lot of algorithms in Java for encryption, right? Encryption is the data gets modified using an algorithm, it will be sent, and at the receiving end it will decrypt whatever the data you have. It will decrypt and take it back in the original way. So Java has got lot of library functions, okay, for security. Okay, Anjali, did you get it? Yeah. Let's move on. Robust. Java checks the code during the compilation time and runtime also. For example, if a statement is never reached, it will throw an error. Okay, error would be thrown during the compilation time only. Java completely takes care of memory allocation and releasing, which makes the Java program more robust. Okay, that is, while compiling itself, Java while compiling itself, Java checks, Okay, the syntax is right or not. Apart from that, it also checks if the code is never reached or something like that, right? So it many things it is taken care during compilation time only. Okay, rather than giving an option for a runtime error, it does at the compilation time only. Okay, that is one of the facility. Okay, when we run the code, okay, I will show you in Eclipse. Eclipse is an editor. I'll talk about it in a short while. Okay, and as I said before that memory allocation and releasing is completely taken care by Java itself. Okay, so you need not allocate memory, Java does that. Okay, Suresh asks a question, then how do we have memory leaks? Java does not have memory leaks, Suresh. Okay, it is completely done by the memory manager itself, by Java. Okay. Robust. Again, I said it is very strong. It does not give any room or a space for program to crash. How exactly Java does that? Number one, it at the compilation time only, it tells you many things like, this is not correct, that is not right, it may crash, or so many things it tells you at compilation time only, and some it will tell at runtime only, and there is exception handling in Java. And apart from that, like it does not crash by not letting you allocate memory and release the memory. Okay, it does not let you allocate memory and release memory. It says you don't worry about it. A lot of applications are crashing in C++ because of this, and because of this reason I will take care. That is, Java says I'll take care, don't worry about it. So with that, the application has become very strong, that is robust. Portable. Okay, applications written on one platform of Java can be easily ported to another platform as it is platform independent. We have already discussed about it. That is, if we have written a program in Windows platform and compile it, I will get a compiled version of Java file, that is .class file. Okay, so that .class file I can take it to any other operating system like a Macintosh, Linux, or like Unix or any other operating system, run it. I don't need to modify 1% of the code also. Just run the program. It works in any other operating system. Okay, Prakash asks a question. If Java allocates memory and release it, then Java application creates core and heap dump. Also, I saw out of memory allocation error application logs. Yes, Prakash, what happens is, let's say I have some amount of heap memory or memory is there. Now I allocate, okay, for 1 lakh employees at one shot, right? What happens? It caches everything and keeps it for you. Now what you should do is, in that case, okay, you should release the memory, you should allocate only required amount of stuff. Okay, maybe rather than defining a global variables which will be there in the memory for a long time, you create a local variable, that is, once you come out of the function, memory is released for you, right? You will not be able to allocate memory and release it, but you can choose wisely how much of memory I require it, right? Did you get it, Prakash? All I'm saying is, rather than using a global variable, use a local variable, because when you use local variable, once you come out of the function, it releases the memory for you. You don't have an option to allocate and release the memory. That is one of the very good point about Java, because millions of applications are crashing when developed in C++. Okay, let's look at dynamic. Many objects are evaluated at runtime and execution is carried out. For example, runtime polymorphism. Runtime polymorphism is that you will know the objects at runtime. Okay, so here the object evaluation will be done at runtime. For example, if I go to an insurance company, okay, and I give my ID to that person, okay, he will enter my ID and gets me the details. Okay, so he will understand I am a policy holder, he'll get me the details based on my ID, right? If I'm an employee of insurance company, if I give my ID, okay, then it will fetch the details about me and then give it. At runtime, when I give the ID, ID has the value based on what I give. Based on that only it decides and tells me back, right? System will understand at runtime, right? That is dynamic. Distributed. Okay, let's say I have 5 modules developed in Java. Okay, so I need not have all the modules in one system, right? I can develop all the 5 modules and have it in a different geographic locations. That's not a problem. That's one of the advantage of Java. I can write one module. Let's say I will develop HR module, admin module, okay, marketing module, and sales module, and R&D module, right? These are the 5 modules I have developed, and I can place in different geographical location. One in London, okay, another one in, okay, California, then one in New York, okay, one in India, okay, one another, okay, Australia. Okay, now I can have one centralized server in Australia. Okay, this is centralized server. Now I can, if somebody asks for the report from HR, this server will contact London machine in fraction of a second and it'll get me the output, right? For example, see, if you look at, if I want to access any web URL, right? So it just takes fraction of a second for me. If I type google.com, right, the server is located like 10,000 miles away from me, but it fetches the response in no time, right? That is distributed application, right? So I have just a browser. Browser is connecting to the server somewhere else, and it gets me the response in 2 seconds, 1 second. Okay, the same thing is applicable in Java also, right? Okay, my question is, okay, what are the advantages of distribution? Okay, can you please think about it? Why should I distribute the code? One of the advantages of Java is distribute. Okay, Suresh says for better load balancing. Okay, load balancing is, what happens is, let's say I have what you are right, Suresh, that is from the server I get like 1 million customers at one time. Now if this machine alone handles everything, then the performance goes down. If I delegate this job to London machine, it does the required job and comes back to me, right? Entire processing, everything is done here. Only display will happen through this machine, right? So the performance will improve if I put the same code in 5 different machines when there is a huge number of requests. Rather than one person handling it, many people would be handling it, right? Yeah. Right. Anjali says not a single failure point. Yes. Like by chance, if this machine goes down or something, you may have a backup and you can immediately contact with something. Like for example, if this server goes down also, or one server goes down, it is not that entire application is down, right? If I put all the modules in one server, right, by chance if that server goes down, all the application goes down. Okay, entire project goes down. So that is also one of the advantage. Great, I'm hearing a lot of response from you people. Okay, security is provided. Okay, Vinay says to reduce the load on the main server. Correct, Vinay, you are right. Okay. Right. Suresh says and also avoid a single point of failure. Yeah. Right? Yes. This is distributed. Distributed is that I have an application which has 5 modules. It is not in a single machine. It is distributed across so that the performance can be improved. Okay. See, that's what Java application can be distributed and accessed very easily. For example, development of web applications. You will learn about it when we start about servlets and JSPs and all, when we start the web applications. Now, next is multi-threaded. Okay. See, simple. A thread is a task, right? So, multi-threading is multitasking. That is, more than one task at the same time is multi-threading. What happens? Rather than one task performing, if I have 10 tasks performing at the same time, the performance of the system improves, right? It improves drastically. If I perform 10 tasks rather than one task at the one time, then my performance of the system increases by 10 times. Okay, so Java has a facility for multi-threading. That is, more than one task at the same time can be executed. Okay, that is multi-threading. Thread is a task in a process or a program. Multi-threading is multiple tasks are executing at the same time. This facility is provided by Java so that many tasks can be executed at the same time. Okay, object-oriented. Okay, object-oriented is, Java is an object-oriented programming language. Everything is used, performed using objects. As I said before, that is, Java uses objects, right? If you look at outside world, everything is an object, right? For example, you take a pen, your pencil, anything, computer, laptop, anything is an object. Object. So it has certain properties and it has some responsibilities or methods to perform, right? That is an object. You write the code for an object, keeping the object in mind, then it is very easy to implement any functionality, addition or a deletion for that object. It's very easy, right? Because your focus is on object, right? Okay, that is object-oriented programming. You will learn a little more in the, you will learn in more detail in the third module and second module, right? Okay. High performance, right? Bytecode is designed in such a way that execution is very fast, which improves the performance. Okay, bytecode is the code, is, as I said, when you write hello.java, when you compile it, it generates .class file. That is, .class file is, that is, it's the compiled version of Java file that has bytecode. Okay, bytecode is the code which is written in the .class file, which is executed by Java in the system. So bytecode is written in such a way that it means directly executes on a machine, okay, without getting into the layers of the system, right? So it is designed, bytecode is designed in such a way that it can perform very fast, right? Which improves the performance of the system. One is, due to bytecode, performance of the system is improved. Okay, what are the other features where the performance can be improved? Can you tell me? We just discussed some of the features of Java which improves the performance. Yes, Arvind says distributed. Yeah. Yes, Arvind. Siddhartha says garbage collection. Yes. Kumar says multi-threading. Definitely yes, more than one task. Thread is a task. Okay, multi-threading means multiple tasks running at the same time. Okay. So Soumya says multi-threading. Yes, Soumya. Vishal says memory management. Yes, program doesn't crash. You don't need to allocate. It knows when to allocate, when to release the memory. So with this, like, the system improves. Okay. Now I have a question from Kumar. How about the cost of maintaining the multiple machines if you have in a different places? Okay, cost of managing a system is extremely low when compared that, like, entire machine being down. I have 1,000,000 customers and I should not look at, like, $50 or $500 to maintain a machine or a server. Okay, so you should look at the giving a service to a customer, right? The maintaining cost for distributing the system is extremely low when compared to the service and the profits you're gaining. Kumar, have you got it? Okay, Prakash, okay, Prakash asked a question, what is the maximum number of threads can create in Java process? Okay, Prakash, I will address this question in the 4th module. Okay, there is a thread management itself. So there are many freshers to Java. Okay, I don't want to deviate here. Okay, so right now I don't want to deviate. What is a thread? How many questions? What are the methods? How can you increase the method? Okay, I will discuss at that point of time. Please don't mind if I don't answer right now. I will definitely will have to address this question at a later point of time. Okay, Ananta asked for the execution speed perspective, which is more faster, C or Java program. In fact, like Java program is also almost similar to the C program. It works as fast as C program. But if you write in C language, Ananta asked this question. Ananta, see, like if you write assembly code by using the ASM keyword in C plus, C, then okay, it is much more faster, right? ASM, if you write ASM blocks and write assembly language, you're directly executing on the machine. There is no comparison, there is nothing, no conversion in between. But if you're writing a regular C language or a Java language, it almost like, on par with the code, the C language. Okay, Ananta, you got it? Yeah. Okay. Okay, before I move on with the question, any questions you have in this? So as I said, at the logical endpoint, I will give you some time to ask me questions. Okay, if it is deviating, I will request you to ask me later or send me an email. I will address, otherwise I'll address in the class. Okay, if you have any questions on the features of Java, please let me know. What you should do is, you should look at everything, what is simple, secure. You should be able to tell yourself, right, what is robust. Okay, if you don't understand, yeah, you please let me know. I'll address it, then we will go ahead. Okay, Nilesh asks a question. How distributed code works? If suppose we have developed one online system, does it deployed on different geographical server and access it? Can you elaborate if you can? So Nilesh asked a question, how exactly you can write distributed code, right? Nilesh, actually the right point of writing the code, explaining this would be at the web development side, but still, since you have asked, I will answer that. Let's say for every machine there is an IP address. Okay, so from this server I can connect to this IP address saying that 192.168, okay, 1.7 or something. Let's say this IP has got this 192.168.1.7. Okay, So I can connect through IP. That is how I identify, right? There are so many technologies in Java where using IP address you can connect to the machine and access it. Okay, is it clear, Nilesh? Okay. Suresh asked a question. I'm not clear about security. SSL is a secured socket layer, is implemented in many languages. Okay. Yes, Suresh, SSL is security is implemented in many languages. I totally agree. But all I'm saying is Java is rich in security library, right? So you have so many facilities in Java to provide security very easily. Rather, if I have to develop in like Python or any other language, okay, any other, if I want to develop, I don't have a built-in support for security. I need to depend on something else. I need to import something and I have to attach something. Here you don't require to do that. It's another class. You just provide another library. You just have to use the library and then it provides everything. It is built in. And there are a lot of facilities are available in terms of security. Okay, you got it, Suresh? Okay. Ananta asked a question. As you mentioned, JVM has to execute Java program, not underlying OS directly, but C program is executed by OS directly. So is regular C program is always faster than Java program. See, in terms of very fast execution, you can look at like C program where inbuilt you can write assembly blocks and everything will increase the speed of C code. Okay, but it's almost on par with C language. That is what I want to say, right? Since you have multi-threading concept, distributed concept, robust concept, memory allocating and releasing the concept, so many things are in Java, it reaches the same level of C language, right? Okay, Ananta? If you don't use any of the facilities of Java, then C would be definitely much faster in execution because Java is written in C++ and C++ is written in C language. Okay? Ananta asks, my point is, does JVM brings any overhead? No, JVM does not bring any overhead. It will add a lot of value. Imagine right now, 8 billion devices are running in Java. Officially, 8 billion, unofficially we don't know how many, right? It is not registered. Then we will not be able to count it. The counted is 8 billion devices run on Java. If there is so much issue is there with the JVM, why 8 billion devices will run on Java? Okay. I was working with Chrysler, so Chrysler, the car, the software for car development entirely is done in Java. Complete end-to-end is in Java. Okay, so it's used very widely, and JVM does not have any issues. Okay. Are you clear about the features of Java? Everything simple, secured. Simple is it is very simple to write. Secure, it provides a lot of security libraries, okay, to secure your data. Robust is very strong because memory management, okay, and compile time itself will tell you many things. Portable is platform independent, that is it can be executed in any platform, that is Windows, Mac or anything. Dynamic, at runtime it decides. Distributed is like in one system you need not have everything. You can distribute the modules across the geographical locations. Multi-threaded is thread is a task, multi-thread is multiple tasks running at the same time, so the performance of the system improves. Object-oriented programming is everything in the real world is an object. It has certain attributes and methods. Anything you take, it is an object, right? So you write code focusing on an object is object-oriented programming. You will learn, in a very elaborated way in the coming classes. High performances using bytecode bytecode is written in such a way that it is fast, okay, and multi-threading is also there to improve the speed of the system, and distributed also improves the performance because it is distributed. It is not in one machine. Okay, have you understood the features of Java? Okay, Nilesh says yes, Siddhartha says yes, Vijay says yes, Prakash says yes, Anjali says yes, Jigar says yes, Yvonne says yes, Kumar says yes, Priya says yes, Suresh says yes, Soumya Kalluri says yes, Ravindra says yes, Ranjit says yes. Thank you so much for the response. Okay, now I have a question. What is a bytecode? Please be interactive so that you will get the maximum benefit out of this class. Yes, Kumar says Java compiler converts Java to bytecode to make it platform independent, and it's very fast. Yes, yes. Anjali says compiled format of Java code. Yes, Anjali, you're right. Okay, whenever some questions is asked like that, my request is please respond so that you will learn more in the class. Okay, bytecode is an intermediate code which gets generated when a Java file is compiled using a Java C compiler. After compilation, .class file is generated which contains the bytecode. This code is platform independent. Okay, now Kumar has a question. For example, in a laptop, if multiple replications run, performance will go down. Okay, Kumar, what I want to tell you is, see, performance, if your system is a very high-end machine, right, like, 10 GB RAM and like, so very high processor, like, 8 gigahertz processor, right? So your language, programming language also provides the facility to run at the same time, right? The system has to be a little higher end, and your language also provides a facility to run many tasks at the same time. So you will be make use of the system's ability from a programming language. You got my point? Okay. Kumar, did you understand what I said? Okay, same with human. Kumar asks, like, if he or she does multiple work at the same time, he or she will get tired. Okay, I wouldn't compare the human being with a machine, right? So it is difficult for a human mind, it is difficult to switch from one task to another task so easily, right? But if it is a machine, it just does without any issue, right? So multiple tasks definitely improves the performance, multitasking. For example, if you look at you have a Windows Word, right? The moment I type a word, immediately if it says the word is its spelling is right or wrong, right? Has it reduced the performance of my system? Definitely not. It has enhanced, right? Rather than typing the complete document and then select the entire document, asking the Windows Word to check, spell check. No, it is not doing. The moment I type it, the moment I'm done with one word, immediately it checks and gets me the response. In a fraction of millisecond it does that. You will not even know about it, right? So it definitely improves the performance. Kumar, have you got it? Okay, let's move on with Bytecode and Java virtual machine. Bytecode is a form of instructions that the Java virtual machine executes. A Java programmer need not understand bytecode. Definitely, right? Once you have a compiled version of the code, right, the exe file or a DMG file or any file, you need not open the file and see it. It is a machine code, right? Okay, Java virtual machine, that is java.exe, that is Java runs the bytecode, makes the Java platform independent, handles memory management. These are the features of bytecode. Java memory management. It's like C++ has pointers where for the pointers you will have to allocate memory and release memory. If you allocate memory, if you don't release the memory, then memory is wasted. If you don't allocate memory and access the variable, then the program crashes. Right? This is the issue with C++. That's what is written here. C or C++ has pointers. User can allocate memory to these pointers. If the pointer is accessed without allocating memory or invalid pointer is accessed, then program crashes. These issues are removed from Java as Java does not have pointers. Complete memory management is handled by Java itself. Same thing. We had discussed this earlier. That is, okay, Java does memory management. It does not give allowance for the user to allocate and release the memory, because a lot of programs are crashed in the past. Okay, heap and garbage collector. Okay, the memory area in JVM where objects are allocated is heap. Okay, there is a memory location called as heap. Okay, it allocates memory. You have two parts to it. One is young space, another one is old space. The memory is freed during runtime by a special thread called garbage collector. Garbage collector is a module actually, and in that it runs a thread to release the memory. Garbage collector looks for objects which are no longer needed by the program and destroys them. That module, garbage collector module, looks at which are the objects which are not required, then it released from the memory. It's like if I define an object or a variable inside the function, local function, that becomes a local variable or a local object, right? So that object gets released the moment you come out of the function. Who does that? Garbage collector does that. Okay. All the newly allocated objects are created in young space. Once the young space is full, then garbage collector is called so that memory can be released. What happens? The moment you allocate an object in Java, it puts into the young space. There is heap is allocated into two spaces. One is a young space, okay, and another one is old space. Anything is like you allocate, it gets into the young space. Okay, after young space is full, then it moves to the old space. Okay, if the object has lived for long in young space and then will be moved to old space. Once the old space is full, garbage collector is called to release the space in the heap. Right. So you have two spaces in the heap, that is young space, another one is old space. Right. So the moment you allocate an object, it gets into the young space, and that object is there in the young space for a very long time. Then garbage collector will look at it and moves that object to the old space so that the memory is available for new objects in the young space. And if the object is not at all required, it need to be removed. It removes from the young space. Similarly, like if the object is not at all required, if the object is in old space, then that also removed from garbage collector. This is how memory management is handled in Java. Okay. Suresh asked a question, can we free the memory without waiting for garbage collector? And no, Suresh, you will not have the control to release the memory, right? The memory has to be released by garbage collector only. Okay, there is something called, since you have asked this question, but it is not recommended to use in Java. Okay, there is a class called system. Okay, so system.gc, if you call, GC stands for garbage collector, you are explicitly invoking a garbage collector, saying that I want you to release the memory. You're telling a garbage collector, sir, release the memory for me, right? It is not recommended to use. Okay, let garbage collector run at JVM pace, right, whenever it is required, right? If the program is crashing and you don't have any memory left over, so you can do it, but otherwise not recommended. Okay. Okay. Okay, I have a lot of questions here. 1 second, hold on. Ananta asks, is the every object goes from young space and from young space to old space then removed? It is not like that. Let's say I have a method inside the function. I write one object, and the moment when you allot an object, it is in the young space, right? So the moment the scope of an object is out, that is like from the function you come out, it is removed from the young space only, right? So if the object has lived for a long time, then it will be moved to an old space, and after that, if it is still not required, then it is removed from the old space. Okay, Ananta, have you got it? Okay, Kumar asks, is it a specific, lived for a long time? Is there any specific time? There is no specific time that is set by the Java. You can also change it. Okay. Anjali asked a question, why is a heap divided into two spaces? Any specific reason? Okay, the reason is, Anjali, they want to keep one space called young space where newly allocated objects are there, and so if it is lived for a very long time, they want to move it to a different location so that some more memory is given in the young space for the new objects. And in the old space, one more module keeps running and checking for how much time it is taking. And if it is not at all used for a very long time, it may release it, right? So that two modules can run on individual spaces. Okay, Siddhartha asked, finalize is something which you want to, that is not something to do with the garbage collection explicitly. Yes, Siddhartha, finalize is used, you will write your own code to, for memory releasing. Okay, but if you look at the, documentation, okay, it is not advisable to call garbage collector explicitly, right, unless until it is mandatorily required. Okay, see, Ananta asks the same question, why it is not recommended to call system.gc. What happens is, you are in between the code, right? So you are asking the garbage collector to run it and release the certain portion. You are another, after 5 minutes or something, again you are calling the garbage collector, right? Unless until you require to release the memory, right? Flushing of the memory for the object, let it do at its own pace. It knows, Java knows when to release the memory, right? Okay, is it clear? Okay, Siddhartha asks, is there any stack memory in Java? Everything is stored in heap. Yes, Siddhartha, stack memory is also there, heap memory is also there. When you allocate objects, when you allocate memory for the object, it gets into the heap. When you allocate data, for variables, it gets into the stack. Okay. Prakash, it is not Prakash asked, what is the interval of implicit garbage collector call? There is no interval as such. It depends on the situation. The moment, see, you enter a function, you allocate memory to a local variable. Okay, variable. It could be an object. Okay, object. So you come out of the method or a function, right? Immediately garbage collector has to be invoked. Right? It depends on the situation. It is not on a time based, it is the situation based. Okay, Prakash, have you got it? Yeah, Prakash says thanks. No problem, Prakash. My pleasure. Okay, inside the space, sorry, inside the heap, like you have an object which you can refer it. Okay, and garbage collector removes the object where you will not have objects in the memory. Okay, how Java code works. Okay. Okay, Suresh asks a question, can we specify the memory for young space or old space? Is it controlled by JVM? Suresh, it is controlled by JVM. You will not be able to specify, hey, put this object in young space, put this object in the old space. No, it is done by JVM. So you just have to say allocate memory. Internally, it does this portion. Suresh asked a question. I mean the amount of memory allocation within the heap. You will have to specify how many bytes you require, right? It could be primitive data type, non-primitive data type. We will look at it, right? You may have to say, this is what I want so much of memory to be allocated. After that, JVM takes care. Where it puts, how it puts, it decides. Okay, usually it is in a young space. Okay, now if you look at, this is how Java works. Okay, that is, you have a source code here, you compile the source code, it gives you a byte code. Then you have the class loader, it interprets, it runs the system, and it is runs on a operating system which runs on a hardware. Right? It's basically you just take a source code, compile it, you get a .class file, and you run that file in the machine. Okay. Now let's look into primitive data types. You have 4 basic data types. One is integer. Okay, that is your integer is like number 1 to 10 or 100 or anything. The floating, you will have decimal points like 12.44. Okay, then character. Okay, so you will define single character, CH, like that. Boolean, you will have true or false. Okay, so these are the basic data types in Java. Okay, these are called primitive data types. Okay, under integer you have 4 more data types. One is byte. Okay, byte, short, int, and long. If you look at 1 byte, short will take 2 bytes, int will take 4 bytes, long will take 8 bytes. Similarly, in floating data types, you have 2 data types again, float and double. In character, you have 1 data type. Boolean is, you have a bool which takes 1 byte, 1 bit of 1 byte. Either it is true or false, 0 or 1. 0 or 1 will take 1 bit, that's all, in the CPU, right? Okay, the question here is Annie's question. Why do you think we need byte, short, and long data types when int can be used? Let's say leave long, right? Why do you need a byte and short data type when int can be used? See here, byte is there, short is there. If these both Means if int can be used, why I should use these two? My request is take some 15-20 seconds, think about it, please respond for your own good, for your own learning. I request you to be interactive so that I can help you to the maximum. Okay, Vijay says saves memory. Siddhartha says to optimize. Vijay says again a faster and better performance. Yes, Vijay and Siddhartha, yes, you people are right. See what happens if I know that, like, I require only 1 byte or, like, 2 bytes of memory, right? So that means if the number is not very long, right, then I will go with these 2 data types rather than integer data type. Okay, see here, byte takes 1 byte, short takes 2 bytes, and int takes 4 bytes in memory. If we know that the variable need not be very big, the variable data need not be very big, then short is fine as it reduces the memory consumption, which in turn increases the performance of the project, right? Wherever, rather than, okay, I know, like, maximum I can expect is 250 is the number, right? For some data is 250 is the maximum I can expect. Okay, now beyond that it doesn't go for sure, then let me use byte only rather than int, because byte will take 1 byte, int will take 4 bytes, 1 byte and 4 bytes. So here I'm definitely improve the performance if I use a shorter memory, right? Okay, Vishal asks, we are not allocating any memory. That's a job of a memory manager. Correct, Vishal. I totally agree with you. If you use byte, memory manager will allocate 1 byte. If I use int, memory manager will allocate 4 bytes. Then if I use byte rather than integer, my question is how it improves the performance. Let's not even look at Java, right? Let's look at a general programming language, generic, right? For a variable, if I use a shorter memory, that is less bytes, it will improve my performance of the system. Okay, it improves performance of my system. How it is possible? How it improves performance of the system? There's a question for you. Okay, now I will tell you, let's say, right, let's say memory manager also is a Java program inbuilt, correct? Now rather than allocating 1 byte, it allocates 4 bytes, right? So it has to allocate the memory and then has to manage the memory, those bytes, right? Right? Allocating 1 byte will take lesser time compared to allocating 4 bytes. The execution is 4 times lesser if I allocate 1 byte. Correct? Right? So when I have to allocate, memory manager has to allocate, right? It has to reduce its work, right? Rather than 10 bytes, if I allocate 1 byte, so 10 times lesser work it is doing for the same amount of work, right? So if I use like that for 1,000 objects, definitely 1,000 into 10, 10,000 times my system performance has improved, isn't it? So if you use lesser space, the system performance will improve. Vishal, have you got it? Yeah, thank you, Vishal. Okay. Okay, you can perform all these operations like other programming language. Okay. plus, minus, multiplication, division, plus, plus, it increments the variable by 1 unit, decrements the variable 1 unit. These are the relational operators, right? Less than or equal to, greater than or equal to, not equal to, and or not logical operations. Okay. Okay, you can download Java software from this location, from this Oracle TechWork, Java SE download Java 7. Since Java 7 is quite stable, okay, many applications have been tested and it is proved that it is very nice. Okay, so you can download 7. 8 is also good, but it is not completely proved, saying that all the applications work without any issues. Still, like, they're testing it out. It's not 100% stable. Okay, now you can download Eclipse. Eclipse is the editor for your Java code. Okay, you can download Eclipse. Please make sure that check your system, whether it is a system is a 32-bit or 64-bit. Okay, go to my computer, right click and see the properties. In the properties you can check, that is like, you will here in the system type it will specify that yours is a 64-bit or 32-bit operating system. It is extremely important. First, please note down it is a 32-bit machine or a 64-bit machine. If your machine is a 32-bit machine, you need to download 32-bit Java and 32-bit Eclipse. Okay, so you need to download, see here you have x86 for 32-bit, x64 is for 64-bit. You need to be very clear, otherwise Java and Eclipse does not work. Okay, Ananta asks, what is the latest stable Java version we use now? Ananta, we use 7 latest stable version of Java. Okay. Suresh asked a question, why not use IntelliJ IDEA? IntelliJ IDEA is not free, I guess, Suresh. Okay, it is a paid version. Eclipse is free. Okay, so IntelliJ is not free. Okay, and across the world, many many large companies, including Oracle, Siemens, and many companies use Eclipse. Eclipse is their standard editor. Okay, I worked with many large companies, right? Many of them use Eclipse, very widely used. So that's why I suggest Eclipse only. IntelliJ is also quite good, but Eclipse is widely used. Okay. Nilesh asks, can you please share the Java download URL? Here it is there, Nilesh. Can you just take one screenshot or something like that? You can download. Please make sure that you are downloading correct version, in the sense 32-bit or a 64-bit machine software. Otherwise it doesn't work and it creates trouble later on, right? Okay, and please ensure that you download J2EE version, Eclipse J2EE version. Okay, so please make sure you download J2EE version. Okay, so because from the 6th, 7th module onwards we'll be working on the web technology, right? So I'll train you how you can write the code on web technology. So I request everyone to download JDK and Eclipse. Okay, so install Eclipse. Okay, this is the first screen you will get. Okay, so you will have to specify the workspace. See, I'm starting the Eclipse. So this is my workspace, the project location, and click on OK. Okay, so this is the project. Okay, so how exactly you have to create this, I'll show you. First select, okay, once you download J2EE version, you have to select Java perspective. Okay, this is Java EE perspective, that is for enter. This is Nilesh asked a question. I have already installed Eclipse during my Hadoop classes. How can I check if it is a J2EE version or not? Yeah, Nilesh, what you should do is, okay, the moment you open the editor, okay, you see what is a perspective is being used, Java, J2EE, or debug, which one. You go to, if you want to Java, okay, just go to Windows, open perspective you give, and select Java here, okay. So you have to select Java and also check whether it has J2EE also, this window, open perspective. If you give others, these are all the perspectives you have in the Eclipse. Okay, just check whether J2EE is there or not over here. Okay, that shows whether your Eclipse supports J2EE or not. Siddhartha asked a question. I don't have EE perspective. So no, Siddhartha, you cannot add a plugin as of now. Okay. So you please uninstall it and install it again. Right. So it'll be perfectly fine. Otherwise, you're not doing the right way. Then. Like don't no plugins are given. Okay. Now how you should do is select file. New for a new all the time. First time you should create a project. Okay, create a project and let's say, okay, Edureka is a project name. I click on finish. Okay, so okay, now go to Edureka. You will find Inteller. I will say hello world and welcome to Java class. Welcome to Java. Okay, this button I can press to save, otherwise I can press Control S to okay. Now right click on it, run as, click on Java application. Okay, it says hello world and welcome to Java. This is the output it shows. Okay, let me look at. Okay, now this is how you create a project. File, new. This is what I just did. Select the project, type the project name, and click on finish. Okay, there is no specific reason for 1.6. It has taken 1.6. Okay, so if you want, if the system has got 1.7, you can choose 1.7 also. Okay, it will specify what all the JREs installed at the time of Eclipse installation. You can choose it. That's not a major difference. Okay, then what you added, you will get SRC. From the SRC, new, select the class, and then type the class name, my first program, right? Then this program will come. Then the the program you write like this: public static void main string args system.out.println hello world. I'll explain what is this. Okay, shortcut is Control F11 to run the program. To run the program, either you can right click on it, okay, say run as, and Java application you can run. Otherwise, you can select this play button here. You can also do that. Okay, it runs, and you can also say Control F11. So these are three ways you can run the code. Okay. Okay, let's look at what is public static void main. Okay, public means it is accessible. See here, public means this function is accessed globally across all programs. This function is accessible from the outside world also. It's available for everyone. Static means without creating an object of a class, you can access this method. You will study more about static in the third module of Java. Static means you don't require any interface to call this main function. You can directly call this method. You don't have to come through a specific way. Okay. Void. You know, if you know C or C++, you know what void is. Void is, it does not return anything. Void is the return type. This means it does not, main does not return any value. This function does not return any value. Right? Main, if you know C, C++, again, like, you know, main is a starting point for any program where execution begins. Main is a function which will be called by JVM, and string args is the command line arguments. Yes, same as C, C++. String args is a command line argument. In C, it is like C, C++. It is like ARGC and ARGV. ARGC stands for argument count. ARGV is an array of strings for command line arguments. Okay, here it is. If I repeat, right? Public is if this function is accessible everywhere. Static means this method can be accessed directly without Java creating an object and then accessing it. Void means this method does not return anything. Main is the function name, and this is a starting point for a Java program. And string args, this is a command line arguments. Okay, so this is the first program. It is okay. System.out.println. This is used to display, right? Let's say I'll type this program. Okay. Int a equal to 60, b equal to 45, and c. I have declared three variables here. C equal to a plus b. Okay. Yeah, Suresh asked a question. So only main method can be static. Yes, Suresh. See, what happens is, if you want to call any method of Java, first you need to instantiate or create an object of that class, then you can access that method. Okay, if you make it static, you don't need to declare an object of that class. What happens? JVM directly talks to main method. Because it's a static method, it does not require the object of that class. JVM directly comes to the main method, starts executing. That's why main method is made static. Okay, Suresh, is it clear? Okay. Okay, Anjali asks a question that can I have another static method in hello class other than main? Definitely, Anjali, we will be talking in the third module. You can have another static method. Okay, I'll just show you. 1 second. See here, I can say static. Okay, void another static method. You'll be learning in detail about it. Okay. Okay, I'll just create another static method. How exactly you need to access this? Okay, so I will not print this one. I'll just call the class name hello. Okay, dot. Okay, what is this? Another static method, right? So I'm not defining an object of the hello. You'll be learning more details. I just want to show it to you. Okay, so just run it. It will give you from static method. Okay, it is possible to have many static methods apart from main method. Okay, is it clear, Anjali? Okay, don't confuse right now about static methods. Okay, we'll have to learn many more things before that, then you will understand. So right now don't get confused about it. Since Anjali asked a question, I want to clarify. Okay, what is the output of this program? So whatever you put it in quotes, it will print as it is. Result is, it will be printed. Okay, and the value of C will be displayed. What is the value of C in this program? Okay, many people are responding. Great. Yes, you can have another static method as public, Anjali. That's not a problem. Okay, many people have responded 105. Okay, as the response, correct. Result is 105. See here. Okay, result is 105. Thank you so much for everybody for responding. Okay. The choices in real life. So this conversation between husband and wife. Wife asks, honey, can we go for a movie today evening? Husband responds, only if I come back from office at 5 or else we shall go tomorrow. Right? Here we are talking about if conditions. If I'm able to come by 5 o'clock, then I can take you to a movie, else I will not be able to take you to a movie. Okay, look at if conditions are used to test the condition. If the condition is found to be true, then set of statements will be executed. This is the class public static void main. Okay, and if this is a condition, so if the condition is satisfied, then I will execute this list of statements, else I'm not. Okay, this is else condition, the same thing, class, name of the class, public static void main. Public is for accessible for everyone. Static, you don't need to create an object of the class for this one. Okay, and void is, it does not return anything. Main is the name of the function. String args, this is the command line arguments. If we are specifying one condition, if the condition is satisfied, list of set of statements if will be executed, else this else portion will be executed. For example, okay, if balance is greater than 0, withdraw is true, else withdraw is false. Okay, see here another condition, right? So public static void main, int balance equal to 10,000, withdraw boolean withdraw equal to, if balance less than 0, withdraw equal to so. So it's basically checking one if condition. Okay, I'll show you one if condition to you. Let's say I will say int age equal to 20. Okay, if I'm checking if age less than 18, then I will say, okay, you are not eligible for OT, else you can vote. Okay, now since the age is 20, which is greater than or equal less, which is not less than 18, then it will say you can vote here. See here, you can vote will be displayed. The condition will be checked. Else, if I make this is 5 or 12, okay, 16 I'll make. Then it will display, since it is the value is less than 18, it will display you are not eligible for voting. See, it says you are not eligible for voting. This is if condition. If you specify a condition, if the condition is found true, set of statements or a statement in that if condition will be executed, else the else portion would be executed. Okay, now we're going at, like, we will be looking at the looping now. Okay, repetitive tasks in real life. This is annoying. I need to take 100 printouts in 10 minutes and I have to wait to press the button every time. After every printout, right, I need to press again and again 100 times to get 100 printouts, he says. She says, instead of programming the printer every time, you can just program the printer for 100 printouts. It can process, in a loop for 100 times. You just give the 100 and press the loop, and it will print for 100 times. The same thing will be executed 100 times. That is looping, right? So you have 3 kind of loops. One is a for loop, another one is a while loop, another one is the do while loop. Okay, if we have to repeat certain statements, then they have to be written many times. To avoid the repetition, we can write them in a loop and program it to execute many times. Okay, the Andy's question, what could be the advantage of using loops? Yes, many people have responded. Thank you so much for everyone who have responded. Okay, so you need not repeat code redundancy. Manually, you need not intervene. Yes, everybody are right. Okay, let's look at what Annie has to say. The advantage of using loops is that we can reduce code repetition by placing the statements to be repeated within a loop. As a result, developers' effort will be less. Correct. Okay, now let's look at the looping, right? The start, this is an initializing variable. It will check for a condition. It will execute the set of statements, increment or decrement. Again, it comes back and checks the condition. This is how the for loop is. That is, okay, the initialization section. Right, first whenever you write, the for loop will have 3 portions. First portion is the initialization, second portion is the condition, third portion is the expression. Initialization is before starting a loop, you want start, initialize of the variable, this portion, initialization. Then condition is checked. If the condition is true, it goes forward. If the condition is false, it comes out of the looping statement. Okay, so execute the statements, it will increment or decrement. After that, again, it will check the condition. Okay, see here, I will check for int I equal to 100, I less than or equal to 120. Okay, I or plus I, oh sorry, plus I, and I will print the value of I. Okay, so that means initializing the value of variable I with 100. That's what it is. See here, initializing the variable. Then it checks the condition whether I value is less than or equal to 120. If it is yes, right? So that means initially I value is 100 only. It is definitely less than 120. So it comes to execute the value of I. Once it prints the value of I, it increments the value of I by 1 unit, which is 101. It checks again the condition. 101 is less than 120. Yes, it is true. It prints 101. So this loop continues until it reaches 120. 120 is less than or equal to 120. It is right. It prints 120. Again, it goes to plus plus I. The value of I becomes 121. 121 is not less than or equal to 120. It comes out of the loop, right? So this is how it executes. Okay, can you tell me what could be the output of this program? Okay, I'll only say it prints the numbers from 100 to 120, right? See here, if you look at 100 to 120, it prints. Okay. See here, initializing the for loop. Condition is checked. If the condition is found true, it will execute further, else it comes out of the loop. Condition is the I less than or equal to 120. So here execute, it's printing the value of I. I'm incrementing or decrementing value of I. In our program, I'm making plus plus I, which is expression. Coming back here and it checks the condition. If the condition is true, again performs the set of statements. Till the condition is found true, the statements of the loop is executed. The moment condition of the for loop is false, it comes out of the loop. The same thing, class for loop demo, public static void main string args for int I equal to 0, I 1, so I less than equal to 10 plus I plus plus. So like it prints the value from 1 to 10. I'm printing the value from 100 to 120. Here the previous program, this program prints value from 1 to 10. Okay, the same thing, while loop is almost very similar. Okay, it's only that you will just have a condition, that's all, right? See here, while loop is also another looping statement. It is similar to the loop except having initialization expression section. You will have only this condition. You will not have initialization or expression. See here, I'll show you. The same program I can write in while loop int x equal to 100. Okay, I will write while x less than or equal to 120. Okay, then I will print the value of x, then I will increment the value of x, right? The same program. This is the initialization section as moved out of the while loop. The condition you have to specify in the while loop, and the incrementing or a decrementing expression has to be inside the while loop. So you will use while loop when you want to use only condition. You don't require initialization and expression and all is required. So that time you can go ahead for while loop. So it also generates numbers between from 100 to 120. Look at here. Okay, 100 to 120. Okay, see here the same thing. It is this program generates from 1 to 10, and the program I have written in generates. Okay, do while loop is very similar to that. Only difference is, okay, the condition will be executed at the end. Okay, so this is the syntax of do while. Don't forget to place a semicolon over here. Okay, so in do while loop, the looping statements would be executed at least once. It will not check the condition in the beginning, right? First it will execute only at least once and then prints it. Okay, so first it prints the value of x, increments, then checks the condition. Again, if it is less, if the condition is true, it goes up. So look here, I'll run this code. Again, it is printing from 1 to 121, right? So let's say I will make it as 200. Still it will execute once. 200 gets printed. See here. Then 201 it becomes, and it checks the condition. There are many situations where you want to execute the code at least once and then check the condition. Then go for do while loop. Usually many times you will be using for loop and while loop. Very rare scenarios you will be using do while. Yes, you will be using. You will definitely require it, right? Okay, before I'll give you any list questions. Suresh asks a question that what is the difference between ++I and I++? Okay. Suresh, it is pre-increment and post-increment. For example, okay. Now I have variable int y equal to ++x. Okay. If I print value of x and if I print value of y, okay, it will be 200 and 201 and 201. Value of x is incremented and then it will be assigned. Okay. See here, 201, 201. But if you look at like plus, okay, see the output. Okay, x value is 201, y value is 200. It is post increment. Okay, it is that is first value of x will be assigned to the variable y and then it is incremented. First, that is a value of x 200 is assigned to y first, then after assignment is taken care, then the value of x is incremented. Okay. Yeah, for each and all you can send it to me, I'll answer, Suresh. Okay, any other questions you have in if conditions or a for loops or till now or whatever we have discussed so far? Is it okay? Have you understood everything? We have discussed about the Java, features of Java, then we looked at compilation process, then we looked at operators, that is the data types, integer, float and all, then we looked at if conditions and for loops today. Is it clear? Any questions you have? I would request you to respond back so that I understand you understood or have not understood so that I can help you out. Okay, so many people responded. It is very clear. Thank you so much. Thanks for responding. Okay, now you have a lot of assignments. Okay, so these are the assignments for data types and operations. You have some of the assignments on if conditions. Okay, assignments on a for loops. Okay, these are the assignments on while